Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Devil's Advocate. And today with me is Megan. Megan, pronounce your last name. Is it Hoot? Hoot?
Hood, yeah.
Hood. It's Hood.
Hood, yeah.
Well, what can I say? I
Nice
mean,
and
like,
simple.
it is nice and simple. So, in my podcasting journey, I did a lot of just trades, and so what I've done now is I've branched out and I brought in people of resources to help other people out there. And so you're the next one in my resources. So it's so funny. The last three podcasts I've done are all resource podcasts. So they're going to be dropping near the end of January. So yours will drop in February.
Amazing.
But just so everyone knows a little bit about Megan. So Megan and I have had the opportunity to meet in multiple networking events. Megan is local to Alberta. I believe you can get her products just about anywhere. She does have an online store, and it is Chinook Skincare.
Yep, Chinook Skincare.
Okay. And Megan is amazing because she created the majority, if not all of these products just by doing research and going through all of her trials and tribulations. So one of the things that I want to talk about with you, Megan, is I want you to tell me your story as to how you got here, why you decided to do skincare. And the big reason why I have skincare today is because just because we're in trades doesn't mean we want to look good or have answers of how we can, keep our skin nice and youthful as well, because we are in those elements and they're harsh. So for men and women, because no one is discriminated when it comes to beautiful and flawless looking skin. So please tell me how you came to be in this Chinook skincare, how it all got started. I'm excited.
Yeah, you bet. Well, thanks so much for having me today, Lisa. It's been so great getting to know you through the networking events. So I am the founder and certified organic formulator for Chinook Skincare. So I launched last November. And so it was really kind of a project based out of, losing my microphone already.
Girl.
So it really originated when I was having some health challenges. I had a couple car accidents and spinal surgery and a dozen cortisone injections in my spine over about a 1.5 year period. So it was a really low time in my life. And one thing I hadn't realized about when getting the cortisone injections is they actually work by stopping your collagen production. So not only was I on long-term disability and struggling with my brain fog and a lot of stress, but the skin on my face looked like it aged about 15 years over a 1.5 year period. So it was really hard on my confidence, I must say. So as I was on long-term disability, I was really looking for a purpose again in my life. So I had experienced some great benefits using medical cannabis post-spinal surgery, including CBD. So for me, and I've had a really bad history and reaction to pharmaceuticals. Like when I was 16, I had taken Accutane and ended up with juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. So I have a very sensitive system and just really the traditional cosmetics that are on the market. I find my skin is really reactive to. I have very sensitive skin as well. Mm-hmm. So I really turned to my passion for nature and the benefits I had seen in the medical cannabis and decided to start studying skincare formulation. So I enrolled with Formula Botanica. They're the world's top international organic indie beauty school. And it was really great because they offered online courses. So I was able to study from home for 3 years and become a certified organic formulator. And then during my studies, I developed a 2-step system that targets all the signs of premature skin aging that I was experiencing, and also that a lot of other people do as well. So for me, it was really important. I really wanted to create my skincare system in a 2-step system. As we all have such busy lives nowadays. So for me, I'm not like a multi-step skincare kind of girl. So it was really important for me to create something that was both nurturing, natural, and efficient, that was really backed by science. So for myself, when looking at the botanicals to use, I looked for clinically tested botanical extracts that have scientific studies behind them that really show how they target the premature signs of skin aging. And one of the other things in my course, like they teach us actually to create products. So you make one product for one skin concern. Mm-hmm. But the challenge I was facing is that after all my health problems and chronic stress, I had a lot of skin issues going on. So that's why I actually layered all the multiple botanical extracts. So there's actually 5 clinically tested botanical extracts in my elderberry serum cream. And those target all like the fine lines and the wrinkles, uneven skin tone, inflammation, So they just give a really nice, beautiful, even tone and complexion to the skin. And the other product is my Superfruit Gel to Milk. And so that one is really, it's almost like a multivitamin for your skin. So like anything, looking at the base, like the nourishment that the skin needs. So it's loaded with vitamins, fatty acids, and antioxidants that really help to repair the skin barrier, which helps you to give you that super soft, hydrated look and feel to your skin. And it also is what gives your skin this really beautiful natural glow to it as well. So with the combination of the two products, that's really all you need to be able to target all the skin concerns that you have. And it's simply you just cleanse with the one and moisturize with the other. So really simple skincare. And they're multi-purpose products too. So you can kind of tailor them to your skin's needs as well.
I absolutely love that. Let me tell you why. Because you go online and you watch all these like beauty influencers, and it's like a shit ton of products that they're putting on their face. Well, we got to put the serum and the other serum and the eye serum and the nose serum and the lip serum. And then we got to put on a mask, and then we got to wash, and then we got to foam. And I'm like, who has time for this?
Right?
I love that you're like, listen, like I needed something now. I needed something that was going to be effective, and I needed to address the majority of my issues, no matter what type of skin type I had, that was going to benefit multiple people's skin. And you took all of that into consideration. It's all natural.
Yep.
And working with an amazing organization for your education and getting that knowledge, because a lot of people come on and they're just like, oh, I've been doing makeup for like 5 years, and I just know. And so you got to do all these things. And I'm like, what background do you have outside of just, I played with makeup and figured out a system that works really good for my face? Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you expanded it. You're like, this is my issue, but I want to be able to help lots of people. And I love that you said I needed purpose again. You went through all of these big things, and look at you. You're just you're just amazing, right? Like, all of
Aw.
us women that survive these life altering ordeals, and we just come back and we're like, yeah, not today. We're going to find something that we love, and we're going to continue with it, or we're going to move into something better that we want and have that purpose. Now, when I went through my stuff, I was already in the field that I wanted to. The only thing that I changed was I became a podcaster, because I wanted
Yep.
to give people a platform, because I find that the biggest gift you can give people is knowledge. I want people to know that Chinook skincare exists. You are a gift to the world, and not everybody knows about you. You only started in November. So, and it was November of not this year, but 2023, right?
That's right. Yeah. So almost a year and a half now.
Yeah. So you're still fairly new on the market. You've got a lot of competition around you.
Yep.
And it comes down to, do you want something all natural? Do you want something with a lot of steps? Do you want, so, you're putting yourself into a better market by saying it's a two-step system. It covers the majority of skin issues. And I'm sure you have a whole bunch of testimonials from people that are like, we love you. This is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I did a focus group actually. So after 30 days for myself, I had really exceptional results within 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
I had been having actually, so here's my before photo. So this was me about 2 years ago. So you can see I really had some like the drooping eyelids, and just the skin on my face was really kind of sagging. It had really lost that firmness and elasticity to it. Um, so that really, like the skin on my eyelids really firmed up within 30 days. And I just really saw a big difference. You can just even see now, like it just keeps getting better the longer you use it. But my skin, like everyone really loves that you get this beautiful natural glow, just because your skin's actually back to a healthier looking state to it. Yeah, so I had such fabulous results. I tested it on my husband. He's always so supportive.
You do this too?
Yeah, so my husband was getting cryotherapy for precancerous skin spots on his face for 6 years.
Okay.
And after using this two-step system for 2 months, he's been released from his doctor for mandatory treatments.
Really?
So,
I should get my mom to do it, because she's getting like little basal cells on her face, and she keeps going back for treatments at the derm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. And they're painful, like, because they actually kind of like they burn it off.
Yeah.
And same thing too, and it kind of blisters afterwards. So
Yep.
it was really hard on his confidence as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so for him, it was made such a difference in his skin getting released from that he's actually been so faithful in doing it every day, which I just love.
I love
So
that.
it is for men too, right?
Well, yeah, skincare's for everybody. I always say it doesn't discriminate. Like, everyone's always like, oh, women, but I'm like, no. If you are a straight man There is nothing wrong with taking care of your skin. As I said, we are out in the elements in a lot of the trades. We are constantly, when you see a seasoned tech, they've probably aged an additional 10 years because of the harsh weather that they're in. And they're not doing a skincare routine. And if a guy's like, all I got to do is wash my face with this and then put cream on afterward. And it's like, oh, I can do that. Most guys do it anyway. But now they have something that's actually going to be beneficial. It's not, skincare isn't just for women. And I hate when that stigma comes out. I'm like, yeah, for the girls that are like foaming their face and masking their face and serums and another moisturizer. And I'm like, yeah, get that. I don't even do that. Like, if we're being honest, every once in a while I have a daughter. So she's like, can we do face masks? And I'm like, and I did get, right. I'm not going to lie to you, I jumped on
the young generation loves it.
Right? But I jumped on that bandwagon of the glass face mask. Yep. You know what I'm talking about? The one that goes on white and then dries clear.
Yeah.
Jumped on that bandwagon, Megan. And I had to get them because I called my best girlfriend and I'm like, she's been my best friend for like 30 plus years. And I'm like, girl, I got those glass ones. You need to come over. We need to have facials. She's
right?
Like, well, how long are I going to leave this on? I'm like, they say just sleep with it. She's like, I ain't sleeping with it. And I'm like,
I know. I'm like, my superfruit gel to milk, it's a multi-purpose. So it can be used as a cleanser. You can also leave it on, the longer you leave it on, the softer your skin is. So it's a face mask. Mm-hmm. It's also an eye makeup remover, or it's a leave-on hydrating serum. So you really just tailor it to like, it's like, oh, my skin's a little drier. I'm going to put some on as a leave-on serum, and your skin will just soak it up. But one of the nice things with this, it actually gives that, so it's got this beautiful bright orange color from the sea buckthorn oil that's in there. But when you rub it in, it actually gives that really beautiful, glassy, like kind of like glow to the skin like that.
Yeah.
So this is really what like, so I like it with like that glass skin look. Right? I'm like, this does it too.
But here's the thing, you're not the only one. So like, I'll go online and I'll watch, and there's one makeup artist influencer. There's a couple of them, but there's one that I really like. And what's his name? His name is, I can't think off the top of my head. I know his last name's Walsh, and he's a gentleman. He's a twin, and he's amazing. I don't know why I can't think of his name. It was like just in my head. He's amazing. I love him. I think it's Robert Walsh, and he's amazing. Oh, cool. And I totally love him. And I like how he's realistic. He's like, there's people who are like, oh, this like mutes out your pores. He's like, yeah, any powder will mute out your pores with the right light. Yeah. He's like, of course, you're sucking up the moisture. You're getting rid of this. He's like, come on. He's like, it's not a blur. He's like, and I love that about him, that he's so realistic. Like all these people get on these bandwagons and he just comes after them. And he's like, no. He's like, you can do that with this step. You can do that with this. There's one girl who's like trying to put makeup on with like streamers. And he's like, yeah, that's garbage. He's like, nobody's gonna know. He's like, that's a lot. Yeah. He's like, you're putting ink on your skin. That's what you're doing. You're licking ink off of a streamer and then you're rubbing it on your skin and you're like embedding it. He's like, why wouldn't you just get a palette with makeup in it?
Right. Because how clean is that for your skin, right?
Well, that too. And how healthy is that for your skin? Those are like dyes, right?
So that's one of the biggest things with my products I love to say is like, if you've ever heard of the Yucca app, so it actually ranks ingredients out of 100 for how clean and good the ingredients are for you. Oh, good. And I'm super proud to say that Chinook Skincare is 100 out of 100 excellent for you. So it's kind of one of those things, actually, when I do demos in stores, I love to challenge customers that say they have a skincare routine they love. And that's awesome. But if you're actually concerned about what you're putting on or in your body, as I am, and a lot of us are post-COVID, I love this app because it scans the barcode and it tells you how good the ingredients are. Nice. And it's kind of shocking for some of the big brands out there that have been around forever. I don't want to name names and get negative, but just, it's interesting. I challenge people, scan your skincare, see what it says, because a lot of them contain a lot of toxic ingredients that are either an irritant, an endocrine disruptor, harmful for the environment. So, if those are issues for you, download the Yucca app and give it a go.
Oh, you don't have to tell me. Like, it was funny. Like, after I went through what I went through, like, COVID wasn't what scared me. It was, I went through breast cancer, right? So then everything went I went super clean. I wouldn't say I'm still super clean at this point. Like, there's still some things I do, but
we all slip.
Right? It's like, oh, Lisa, do you still live it super clean? Like, well, I gained 25 pounds because I was eating shit. But, I felt like I deserved it and I was giving myself a reward. So
And we're all human, right? I mean, such is life.
well, I was going after the good fats if we're all being honest. Like it's not like I was just
Yep.
eating fried chicken, you know? I mean, I do enjoy fried chicken, but
Hey, me
you
too.
know, but I'm like I have to learn how to make it, but then I get nervous because I'm like, wow, they're like the way they process flour or the way they process this or the way they process that. And then I get nervous and I'm like, I don't want to make anything. I just unless it's
Right?
salad and meat, like I don't trust it anymore. And it's but I will eat the one thing I do really enjoy. My son loves rice and my daughter enjoys pasta. So those are two things that I know how to make pasta. If I want to make pasta, I know how to make it. But
Yeah.
do I do it often? No. No,
Right.
I buy
Well, and
so.
it's often the preservatives that are in things, right, that aren't very good for us, or the synthetic colors and everything,
Mm-hmm.
which is actually neat because, excuse me, with Chinook Skincare, I actually found a brand new preservative on the market.
Yeah.
It's made from upcycled banana leaf and trunk extract.
Okay.
So it actually uses the plant's natural microbial defenses in protecting the cream as well. And I've had it third party tested and it's 100% keeps the cream safe. And plus it's also has naturally hydrating and brightening properties to it as well. So
Do you find there's a challenge, Megan, when you're dealing with people and you tell them the price of your product and then they kind of like get all bejiggity about the price, but yet they'll pay like hundreds of dollars for a skincare product that would probably like eat their skin?
you know what? Yeah, there's definitely some people like that,
Okay.
for sure. But then there's other people too that look at it and they say like, so it's $150 for the set.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes people will look at it and say, well, I only need two products to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Plus they're water free. So they're really potent. Like it's like that. It's very concentrated. So a
Yeah.
little goes a long ways. Um, so I'd say for the most part, like, especially once people have had a chance to try it, like I hand out little samples, people just fall in love with it
Mm-hmm.
and the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
But then there are people that are definitely going to balk at the price. But I think that's just human nature. We all have different priorities in life. Some people, you've got different things going on. So we have to choose where we put our priorities. But yeah, I think ultimately it comes down to what people really value
What's your website?
in their skincare. And for me, that's the simplicity. It's even too like I love the decluttering aspect of it. Instead of having all these multiple jars of skincare that I never use, it's actually really nice just to have two that I can
I agree.
use regularly.
What's your website, Megan?
ChinookSkincare.com.
Okay. It's underneath your name. Is that correct?
Let me see. I don't see. I'm not sure. I can't see. I'm not used to this app to see where do I look?
Where it says your name?
I'm not actually, I just see your name.
Do you only see mine?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, underneath yours, it's ChinookSkincare.com is what I've put.
Yep. That's perfect.
Okay.
You got it.
So that's what I've put underneath there. So for people that want to find out more about Megan's products, you can go to the Chinook Skincare website. Megan is based in Alberta, but I know that you can sell anywhere. Like you have an online store, don't you?
I do have an online store. So I sell all across Canada and the US. And I do offer free shipping over 100.
Okay.
And I'd also, I have a before and after page. So actually one of the people from my focus group, Tracy Lee, she is actually in construction
Okay.
and has been for 20 years. And one of the things that she commented on about using Chinook skincare is that it's the first time that her skin actually stays hydrated and soft all day long while actually working with the harsh chemicals and elements that you guys do.
Mm-hmm.
And interestingly enough, if you actually go take a peek at her before and after photo,
Mm-hmm.
not only did it just keep her skin hydrated, but it also, she had some lines on her forehead that disappeared after 30 days.
Love it.
So, yeah.
Here's what I want to do, Megan, because I do, there's three things that I'm really passionate about. I'm passionate about women in business, as long as you're not crazy, because there are some,
Yeah. Yeah, it
I'm
happens.
passionate about women in business. I'm passionate about entrepreneurs, and I'm passionate about trades. And I always like to try and help people that are doing great things, and they're gaining some momentum. But this year I'd like to help you gain some more momentum. And so I do a lot of golf tournaments. I do a lot of sponsorships, and I would love if Chinook Skincare would help me promote some of your products. So first of all, I know you're in Alberta, we're not far from each other. So I'm probably going to come pick up some skincare because I've been meaning to do it. And every time I see you, I'm like, I need to buy some.
Amazing. Well, I'm going to make sure I come to the Bears Paw Chamber meeting in January if you're going to be there.
I
Are you
might, I
coming
might
to that
not
one?
be. I might not
Okay.
be.
No worries. If not, we'll connect later.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'll text you anyhow and let you know. But let's have that conversation, like off
Yeah.
camera, obviously, about helping promote Chinook skincare and what that looks like for you. Because I know, like you said, you do little promo ones, but if we can do them on a larger scale for the trade industry as well as the property management industry, condos, it'll probably go really fast. That's one of the fastest ways I've helped a few people with health and wellness grow. And I do a lot
Amazing.
of health and wellness in my packages. I don't give like chocolates, and I can't say that I don't give booze because I sponsor booze. I'm not gonna lie. 'Cause everybody likes booze on some level,
Right. I
right?
know.
Like it was funny. Like I had one. Like there was one client. They were like, Lisa, we need a sponsor. We need a sponsorship gift, and I was like, okay, well, what's it for? And they're like, it's for this, and I'm like, oh, well, we'll get Johnny Walker Blue Label. That'll go real quick.
Right. Yeah. It's easy.
It went so fast, and it went like twice over asking price. So I'm like, and it was for a charity. So for me, it was worth it because it's for a charity. But when you're dealing with a room full of like trades and like high insurance, Johnny Walker goes
Yeah.
best. So,
Right.
you know, it's like, I especially for what its ticket price is for that, like it's not cheap to buy the Blue Label Johnny Walker. It's like $350.
Yeah. It is a lot.
Yeah, it's expensive scotch. So
Yeah.
I'm not a scotch drinker personally. I think I don't care for the flavor of scotch or whiskey. I don't like it at all. So when people are like, "Do you want some Hennessy?" I'm like, "Ew, no. I'd rather just drink Clamato juice."
Right.
No.
Yeah, that'd be amazing to do, like to partner with some sponsorship stuff. Actually, Tracy Lee, my girlfriend that's in construction, they're buying 50 of my sample kit sets to do as gift bags with one of their events that they're handing out for their construction events. So I'm super excited actually to be kind of branching into that industry because, like you said, we all want to have naturally beautiful looking skin, right? Like,
Absolutely. Especially with the health concerns that have come out and how people are more scared, especially after COVID, how a lot of people, didn't take there's the jab versus the no jab people. And your product is to everybody. It's like, listen, it's natural. There's no chemicals in it. This is good for you. It's a 2-step program. Let's help me help you make yourself beautiful.
yeah.
And like basically you're shining them through. You're not a makeup, but now you do have other products though, do you not, Megan?
Yeah, I do have so for skincare, this is all I have right now. I've got a lip treatment that I've like a coffee extraction lip treatment that I've done.
Wow.
And I'm also working on a clay mask made from clay from Quebec. So that's going to be coming out, launching later this year.
I love that.
And I developed a Buy and Stone gua sha, which pairs really amazing with like the gua sha or the rollers work really well with the superfruit gel to milk when it's on as a mask.
Okay.
Yeah, so that works great. And then I just have some microfiber sponges that kind of pair with the system. So at this point, it just keeps it really nice and simple, just for that kind of like simple but nurturing self-care.
I love that. I love what you're doing. You're amazing.
So are you.
Well,
It's been
thank
so
you.
great meeting you.
Oh, you know what? Everybody that I've met, just about, like, there's not very many that I've met that I don't care for. Everyone's doing something so amazing. Like, especially with like when you're meeting people through the Giveland Gals,
Yeah.
they seem to have a real knack for finding talent. Those two, like they find people who are passionate about what they're doing, who, you don't need to sit and talk to the people long to understand what their product is and that it's good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's what I love. And like, it's like Jen and Victoria just have this knack for finding these people.
Well, you know what I say? It's the law of attraction. That like energy attracts that other similar, amazing like energy.
It's true.
And you're right, because everyone that I've met through them have been really amazing.
Yeah.
And just through networking this last year, like, because after being on long-term disability for a couple years, I mean, I used to own a restaurant, but I really developed social anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
So actually trying to get back into networking and being around people was actually surprisingly really anxious and stressful for me at the start. But it was the Giveland Gals. It was Jen and Victoria were so welcoming. And really went out of their way to make me feel comfortable. And Jen's like, I'll come meet you in the parking lot if you need a friend to come in with you. Like they really go above and beyond. And I'm just so grateful for them and everyone that I've gotten to meet through them, because like you said, they're all amazing.
They are. And, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be in the Bear's Paw. So I need to talk to the girls over at the Bears Paw Chamber because I haven't renewed my membership with them. And so I still go to a lot of their events and I still utilize, like right now I'm trying to book an event with Maria at the Florist and Pine.
Nice.
So I mean, and then, but I just like, there's some of them like I just adore, like I adore Carla and Emma, and I haven't got to meet all of the people that are on the board. It's most of them, but the three that I talk to the most, I just love them. I've gone for lunch with Carla, and I just adore Maria, and I don't get a chance to see Emma often, but she was sick for a while there. But they're
Yeah.
such
Yeah, I think.
amazing people, and I love the chamber and their energy that they bring to the chamber. It's not clicky. It's not you're not good enough or we don't like you. There's no like popularity club, which I find in a lot of these chambers around Alberta.
Yeah.
I joined the Airdrie chamber and I didn't like it. I found it very clicky. I didn't care for it. I don't care if Airdrie wants to come for me, change. Like,
Right.
I'll be like, well, yeah, change. Like, to me, it's
Yeah.
really clicky. The people that you've had in there are all friends. And, or if they're not friends, then they're all like, there's some sort of intertwinement in it. And I don't feel that they're giving the attention a chamber should have. Like, I feel like people should feel more welcome into their chamber and not feel like, if one person doesn't like you, it's going to get around and blah, 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 blah. Like, I've heard about all the stress and gossiping that goes on, and I'm just not interested in stuff like that. And I don't get that with the Bears Paw Chamber. They're so welcoming. They're funny. They're themselves.
Yeah.
Love those girls. And I think,
And you know what? And it's again, it's that energy thing. It's like
yeah,
I can go to some networking events and feel just drained afterwards.
yeah,
And like it really kind of pulls out that anxiousness because I don't have that. It doesn't feel like that genuine connection.
yeah,
But there's something about the Bears Paw Chamber and the Giblin Gals. Like I actually feel more energized after being at an event
yeah.
because you're just around such amazing, uplifting energy.
Right?
Right? Yeah.
I know. I've met some pretty amazing people. I won't lie. They're amazing people. So we need to find out how. There was one thing I was going to ask. Oh yeah, you know what I was going to talk to you about? I was going to talk to you about. Now, remind me what your hubby does again.
Oh yeah. So he works for the Eco Center in Cochrane. So the recycling center in Cochrane.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna pivot on this one because I did help you guys
Yeah.
with my company, which is LPM, and the reason we're gonna pivot is because it is partially construction and it is gonna help educate some of my listeners. So we're only gonna take a couple minutes to talk about
Yeah.
it.
Absolutely.
If I mean, we won't mention any names, we won't mention any properties, but so your lovely husband and his sister were trying to protect their mother, who is living
Yeah.
in a HOA, and what I and I'm hoping that things I haven't heard much since then, so I'm hoping everything's okay because the last time I had a chat with your hubby, it seemed like they were moving forward in a direction or they were waiting for a response from the board of directors for the HOA because the HOA was basically making demands that they didn't really have parameters to do so
Yeah.
and ignoring a bigger issue, which was really upsetting to me because their mother is elderly. Elder abuse is real. And as
Yeah.
far as I was concerned, she was dealing with elder abuse from her neighbors. So, and the fact that they were trying to bully and approach her and telling her what she could and couldn't do with her own property in an HOA. When I read those documents, they didn't have any right. They weren't a Bearlands. They're not condominiumized. There's nothing in there that says that she has to check with the board of directors before she does anything on her property. So
Yeah.
I read all their documents. And so for me, I was so grateful that, yourself and your hubby and his sister were, reached out to me and said, "Hey, Lisa, help us with this." And I went ahead and did so. Now, I don't know how much you can speak to it, but has anything been resolved?
It's kind of funny. So they had there was kind of a bit of tag back and forth with the letters going
Okay.
back and forth. But I think after that final letter that she wrote, it just kind of went silent. So how resolved it is until next year, it's hard to say because that neighbor goes away in the wintertime. So they're gone for 6 months in the winter. So they're not here right now. So it's hard to say if it's quieted down just because he's not here to make some noise.
How convenient.
Or did they really get the message? So I'm really hoping come spring, summer when he's back next year, that they really got the message with that final letter because they didn't pursue anything. They didn't really say that they agreed, but there was just no follow up again after that. So we're going with that. It's resolved for now, and but we're so grateful for the support you provided us because she really felt threatened in her own home, and it became. She lives alone. It really became consuming for her. Like was afraid to go out into her own yard because he would harass her. And just even certain windows, like she didn't feel like she had privacy in her home. So to have your kind of support to really kind of help us write some of those letters and be aware of what her rights were, made a huge difference for us. So we were so grateful for the support.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, I appreciate you guys opening up and letting me know that you needed my support and that, you wanted me to move forward with it. But yeah, I think I always pull, if it's like, the old doctor statement, like if there's no news, it's good news.
Yeah, that's what I figured too.
And it's a good way to be, but sometimes they're just like, they're trying to figure out how they can get around it. But what happens is when they know that you've got a consultant on your side, they usually will back off, because it means that that's my condos and HOAs are my area of expertise, in the sense that I'm going to get as much information as I can from like, I actually went and hunted down their condo. I found out who their property manager was. I like looked up everything, and everything's online if you just know where to look. I looked up their property schematics. I looked up everything, and it took me like 25 minutes. And I was like, you guys have nothing. And then when he sent me, your other half sent me the picture of what they were bitching about. And I'm like, well, the fence is the same height on Buddy's side. What the hell are they talking about? She's just staying in continuity with what they're like. What the hell's happening here? Like this, they don't even have anything they can't tell her to take it down. It's not breaking any city bylaws, number one, because city bylaws are, you can do 6 feet and then another foot. I think it's a foot or 2 feet of lattice.
Wow. Right.
I think it's a foot of lattice. So that makes it, because I think what happens is it totals to about 8 feet in total, but you got 2 feet of lattice, and then the rest, then the fence itself has to be 6 feet, and that's as high as you can go. But then everybody has different rules. So in the city, they can be like, oh, the lattice is too much, take the lattice down. But lattice is easy to remove than taking out a fence. So that's why I always say 6 feet. And she wasn't higher than what she was supposed to be. So for me, I was like, you guys are grabbing at straws.
Well, yeah, I really did feel like they were on that end of bullying for sure, because there's other people. I mean, if they're concerned about what people's homes look like, there's a house that was like not 6 houses down that has a neon green garage door painted. Mm-hmm. So, if they've got regulations in the community, why are they only going after her versus other people as well?
And, and number two, what boards need to realize, and this is what I try to explain to any board, it doesn't matter if you're condo or HOA, you can be sued personally. The corporation will not protect you if you are acting in malice or outside of your fiduciary duty as a board member. If you guys as a group, even if 2 people on the board of directors are like, I don't want any part of this, if the majority goes after somebody the way they went after her, they're looking at a lawsuit. And personally, you're not naming the corp anymore. Now you're going after them individually and you're suing them for harassment and abuse. And that is ugly. That's not a good thing. You don't want that. So as board members, you have to conduct yourself in a certain way. You are helping make decisions on a multi-million-dollar property, whether you're condo or HOA or multi-hundred thousands, right? And you're doing this to continue to, have this investment flourish and stay in good condition so that everybody has a good resale value. And you want your properties to look pristine, regardless of your condo or HOA. But the last thing you have the right to do is go after one person because they're, in a sense, they're weaker, right?
Yeah.
She's elderly. She's by herself. Like, I remember telling you, I'm like, I'll drive over there. I don't care. I'll confront him.
I know. You're so sweet.
I have no problem doing that. I've worked in trades. I eat people like this for breakfast. Like, right? He's not going to go over there and talk to your mother like this. Like, he's lost his damn mind. Because I do. There's people that live in, when it makes me angry when you have neighbors that are shitty. Yeah. It's like, why can't we just all get along? Especially when you say he's a snowbird. I'm like, don't go away, Matt. Just go away.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, and actually, I think it was that letter when you actually identified the names of the board members and let them know that they were liable. That was the one that I was like, ooh, all of a sudden it was crickets. So you nailed it with that one. Thank you.
No worries. Well, sometimes you just gotta, if they weren't letting up. And then the last letter I'd read from them was just, it was so preposterous that I was like, okay, I need to get through to them. We're not playing this game anymore. I'm not playing okay, you're nice and I'm going to have a logical civil conversation with you. Now it's just going to be, well, you can all be sued. So
it worked.
You can all be sued. She hasn't done anything wrong. You don't have the right. There's nothing in your bylaws. Like, pound sand.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. So
obviously,
thank you for it.
yeah, no problem. No, I'm glad things are going well. And she's happier right now. She's good.
So much happier. Yeah. She's doing great.
Well, you
Yeah.
tell, you just, I mean, you let your other half know, and your mother-in-law know that if she needs me to come and bring her a coffee and sit in her backyard and glare at them,
I love that.
I'll be like,
Give
sure,
him a
let's have
taste
some
of his own
tea.
medicine.
I'm not even gonna lie, because well, the whole issue is that he had cameras there, and I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
Like I would make fun, like I would make her laugh, like I would sit and have tea, and I would just be like, "What's over there? Do you see that right there?"
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You really did give her a peace of mind. So thank you so much.
Yeah, no, no worries. Okay, well, I'm gonna wrap us up. First of all, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart to coming on the show and talking about your skincare. I want your skincare. I want to do promo packages. If there's a cost, let me know because I can write it off for me for all of because I do 4 golf tournaments with different companies, and then as well as I do the ACR at the end of the year. And I'm happy to put in. I know a lot of people that are on the board for the ACR, and I can tell them that I can put little things in their little gift bags.
That would be
If you
so amazing.
Yeah, and so the ACR is the Alberta Real Estate and Condominium Conference.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're amazing. So thank you so much for being on the show. And we'll have to, like I said, we'll circle back when we get off camera. But other than
Yep.
that, thank you so much. I appreciate you. So thanks everybody for tuning in and listening to this episode of Devil's Advocate. I hope you guys will reach out to Megan and go check out ChinookSkincare.com and make sure that we're all beautiful on site because we need to be distractions to ourselves.
I
Take
love
care,
it. Thanks so
right?
much for having me.
Thanks, honey. Okay, so take care, everybody. And if you guys need to reach me, you can. Lisa at lpmenterprises.net. Send me in your questions or come on the show. I'd love to have you. Thanks, guys.